What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by you-know-who, pun intended. So what can I say about this book that hasn't been said already or dissected a million times? Probably nothing. I mainly read it for nostalgia purposes, and this is my first read-through since reading the final book when it came out 13 years ago, and I thought I'd offer my thoughts on it after restarting it again. So here's a quick synopsis of the book in case you haven't read the book or seen the movies before. Harry Potter, our main character, was almost killed as a baby by Lord Voldemort, a very dark and powerful wizard, but for some reason Harry survived and defeated Lord Voldemort during the attempt. Harry's parents were killed in the process trying to protect him, and he's now raised by his Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon, who treat him like absolute garbage, along with his cousin Dudley. On Harry's 11th birthday, he receives a letter from Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, letting him know that he's been accepted into the school and that he can begin his training as a wizard, which is a complete shock to him because he had no idea that magical blood runs in his family, and of course his aunt and uncle kept it a secret from him because they were ashamed of that part of their family. He quickly makes two friends while attending Hogwarts, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, and they have all sorts of magical classes together: potions, charms, transfiguration, defense against the dark arts, and even a magical sport called Quidditch, which is played on broomsticks. They quickly find out that Voldemort is attempting to come back to power, and it's up to Harry, Ron, and Hermione to try to figure out how to stop that from happening. Rereading this book hit all of the nostalgia spots that I was hoping it would. Guys, I was the biggest Harry Potter fan back in the day. I'm talking about reading the books, movies, playing Harry Potter outside, pretending to fly around on broomsticks, the trading cards, Lego sets, toys, you name it, I had it. I really badly wanted to be a wizard. And I think we all at some point in our lives were worried that Hogwarts didn't send us our letter being accepted and somehow had forgotten about us. The world that Rowling has created is truly spectacular. The books get even deeper as the series progresses, and she's created a wonderful cast of characters that are really unique and complex in their own way. Small things such as moving photographs instead of still ones really adds to the richness of this magical world, and it can often lead to humorous situations when non-magical people called muggles and magical people interact with each other. For example, when Harry sees a moving photograph for the first time, he's like absolutely shocked. But then when a wizard who's used to seeing moving photographs sees a photo that doesn't move, he's like poking and prodding at it, expecting it to do something. So oftentimes it's funny to see this dichotomy of wizarding world and muggle world interacting with each other, and it can raise some really funny situations because they don't understand each other at all. But after rereading, I have a few criticisms as an adult. Not with the writing, but with the nature of the wizarding world. And yes, I do understand that this is just a book, okay? The magical world wants to keep their world secret, but they have magic, okay? And it could be incredibly beneficial to the rest of the world if utilized properly, but at times it comes off as incredibly selfish. Healthcare, for example. When students get injured, say they break a bone or they come down with an illness, bones can be regrown within a day or two, and their illness is cured within a day or two. This could be really useful for the rest of the world, but they want to keep it to themselves. And I mean, it could be incredibly cost effective, essentially saving medical debt for the entire world. This isn't in the first book, but it comes in later books. Apparating, which is essentially teleportation. That could save the world from emissions from cars and other, fossil fuels. Zero travel time, and it's much better for the environment. There's a scene in this book where Albus Dumbledore, the headmaster of Hogwarts, claps his hands and all of the students' plates get filled up with food. Instantly, could that not solve world hunger? Or maybe they're teleporting it from somewhere, from the kitchens or something? I don't know, but it seems like it could be very beneficial to starvation. Gringotts, the wizard bank. Extremely inefficient. So it seems that whenever wizards have to make a withdrawal because they carry around coins, 3 different types of coins, there's no electronic money of any sort, but they all have to carry around these coins, and in order to get their money, it's like seemingly every wizard in the world, their money is stored at Gringotts, but all of the vaults are located underground, and you have to use these weird, like, trolley roller coaster type carts in order to get to each vault. It just seems like it's very time consuming. What about direct deposit? If you get paid in coins, like every other week, do you really have to travel to Gringotts to deposit it, or are you stuck with a bunch, a big pile of coins, or does it magically get teleported there? These types of things, I don't recall them being explained in the later books, but it's been many years since I read it, so maybe somebody can help me out. As a simple muggle, I need answers. Why in the world did McGonagall and Dumbledore leave Harry outside all night on his aunt and uncle's doorstep after almost just being murdered as a baby? Why couldn't they just ring the doorbell? Now, of course, I'm just spewing out a bunch of random thoughts, so please don't hate me too much. This is still one of the greatest series to ever have been written, and I'm really grateful that I was able to experience this as it was becoming a phenomenon and growing up in the heart of it. I have really fond memories of going to Barnes & Noble at midnight when the new books were being released. Those were events that you looked forward to, and doesn't happen with any other book as far as I'm aware. And I'm incredibly impressed that Rowling was able to fit all of this into 300 pages. I was about 40 pages from finishing the book, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, she still has to go through the Forbidden Forest scene and through the trap door with, Fluffy and all that. And there was only 40 pages left. I'm like, how was she going to pull this off? But she did. Compared to the movie, they did a pretty accurate job of recreating it. Certain little things were left out, like the giant squid at the lake in front of Hogwarts and Peeves the Poltergeist. But and then there were certain times where certain lines were said by a character in a movie that were actually said by someone else in the book. But overall, it was pretty darn close. And Dumbledore in the books was much quirkier than I remember. They don't portray him like that in the movie. I'm going to be rereading the first 3 for sure, and I'll probably end up finishing the series too. So you guys already know what I'm going to be giving this book. 5 out of 5. It's a wonderful story of someone who is in a bad living situation where something great and spectacular happens to him. It's honestly perfect. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next book review video. See you later.